Good morning. I'm Alyson, a member of the Unitarian Universalist Society of Amherst and part of our worship collaborative. I use she, her pronouns. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old, in the Zoom and here in the sanctuary. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. Today's service is inspired by and features the poetry of the Reverend Sean Parker Dennison. He is the minister of the Rogue Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Ashland, Oregon. His book of poetry, Breaking and Blessing, in which you can find all of today's readings, was the 2020 In Spirit Meditation Manual. It is available from the UUA bookstore. There's also a time in the service when you are invited to write, either on your order of service or another piece of paper. So those of you joining us on Zoom may want to make sure you have a paper and pencil at the ready. And those of you here, if you don't have something to write with, you can see a greeter and they will help to find you something. You may notice that I take my mask off to speak and put it back on again to sing. Any of our worship leaders who unmask have tested negative for COVID this morning. Our congregation has made the choice to prioritize the vulnerable rather than the comfortable with our masking policy. It's part of how we take care of one another. And if you need a mask, you can also see our greeter. Our opening words: to invoke love. To invoke love is to ask for a hug from a thunderstorm, spill tea in the lap of the infinite trickster, to make the biggest, most embarrassing mistake of your life in front of everyone who matters. To invoke love is to never know if it will come softly with the nuzzle of a beloved dog or pounce right on your chest with the strength of a lioness protecting her cub, her pride, her homeland. To invoke love is to take the risk of inviting chaos to visit the spaces you spent so much time making tidy, and watch as the breath of life scatters everything you have only just folded and put away. To invoke love is to allow for the possibility that your words and actions might become so empowered you can no longer believe in apathy or the self-righteous idea that nothing can change. To invoke love is to give up self-deprecation, false humility, pride. To consider yourself worthy to be made whole, willing to encounter love that will never let us let each other go. To invoke love is to guard against assumptions, take care with our words, and practice forgiveness, not as an ethereal ideal, but right here, in the messy midst of our imperfect lives. To invoke love is to approach each and every day with wonder, anticipating love's arrival. Is this the moment? Is this love's grand entrance? Is this person the embodiment of love? Am I the one? To invoke love is to play the fool, the one more concerned with loving than with appearance or reputation, the one ready and willing to be vulnerable, abandoning anything that gets in love's way. To invoke love is to be ready to become love, here, now, in everything we do. Are you ready? I invite you to say the chalice lighting words with me. We light this flame to invite a world of peace, where we heal the wounds, where we share what we have with one another, where justice is another word for relationship, and we listen for what love has to say. I invite you to rise in body and spirit to sing our first hymn, Amazing Grace, which is number 205 in the hymnal and on the screen. Letter to our better angels. Dear angels, it seems important to begin by making it clear that we are not talking about celestial winged beings. This letter is addressed instead to our better selves, the people we hope we will be when necessary. We might also note that we more often excel at our self-appointed role as advocate for the devil, a requisite position that is also, if you ask us, not literal, but theoretical, and therefore without consequence. We are writing to let you know that we feel your presence insufficient and unpredictable, and when we inquire about how to make you more dependable, we are offended by and opposed to the level of accountability required. We're hoping to make arrangements for an increase in the percentage of goodness and presence of admirable qualities in ourselves and in others, especially in others. We respectfully request that this come easily and with immediate delivery, a dependable warranty, and at no extra cost. We would be even more pleased if it could be arranged for us to become better people without needing to change or to consider any needs but our own. It would also please us if our status as increasingly good could be noted in some way. Perhaps a cookie, a badge, a halo, so long as it's comfortable. We hope you will consider our request as soon as humanly possible, not in angel time. We have already waited a long time, unaware of the seriousness of the situation, the disrepair to our reputation. Please expedite our request. We have only just noticed that the world is ending. Sincerely. You may notice that there is a blank spot in your order of service. As Brenda plays some music for us this morning, I invite you to write your own letter to our better angels, our better selves. What do you want to ask them for?
Take not for granted a privilege.
Our meditation reading this morning. Always calling. I have been called countless times, just this morning, just this moment. This breath that I'm holding for one extra heartbeat is calling. This tiny speck of dust floating above me in the light is calling. This child with sticky hands that wants me to look is calling. This task, this thought, this plan that crowds my overcrowded mind is calling. This day rushing through hours toward dishes and chores before bed is calling. This dream of before you died and longing for more time is calling. This deeper sleep, dreamless, empty, time of repair and healing is calling. This joy and that sorrow, the tear that mingles both with compassion, is calling. This place and this whole world full of suffering and beauty are always calling. Please remain seated for our meditation hymn, Spirit of Life, number 123. Please join me as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now I invite you to rise in body and spirit where you are. Place your hands over your heart or reach out to someone near you to sing our closing song.